All right, all right. Now we got the Facebook also teed up very nicely. All right, good, good, good. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you. This is Imam Makram El Amin. I am excited to come before you all today and to share some ideas, some thoughts, talk to you about our platform on imammakram.com. By the way, if you have not done this yet, please go to imammakram.com and enter your email address. Join our email list. You can get our blogs, get a lot of our content that we send out on a regular basis. And other, activities, events like today, like this we're doing today, our monthly live coaching session. We're doing this live on social media today, and maybe for another time or two, this actually will become an exclusive product for the Find Your Gift community, which we're going to talk about in a second. But we really are just really wanted to come and just to share a little bit about our platform, what we're really about. But then we want to get into some coaching. We want to absolutely get into some coaching. We want to get into our platform about what our one-on-one coaching consists of, more high level. Not going to get all the way into the weeds today, more high level, but I really want to give you all a taste of what it means to be, what coaching is about, what it means to be coached, and the idea of what the benefits of joining a community. And I think this is just something that is so critical. It's so critical to our work. It's so critical to self-development. When you're aiming to do something that is I would say extraordinary, something that you haven't done before, something that you are, attempting to do to to break an old habit, to start new habits, etc. When you're attempting to do some of these really, mind shifting, paradigm shifting things, then it's best to do them in the context of a community. So this is what we're looking to start here. This actually is what we have begun already started. And I want to I see a few of our community members are on this live right now. Thank you all for your commitment. Thank you all for believing in us. Thank you all for being some of the first into the community. And as this thing grows and grows, those who are in first will reap the benefits. You will get a lot of the various things that we're doing. We're going to talk about those as we go along today. But I'm just excited to see you all. I'm excited to be here with you and to serve you I always like to say, we think about coaching for a moment. You think about the idea of having someone or a group that is helping you to reach specific goals that you have, right? And you do this in a way that is just systematic. You do it in a way that it builds community. But what you're really trying to do is you're trying to rally that momentum. You're trying to build some momentum towards a stated goal, right? So when you think about the our platform and what we're looking to create here and starting to create, it really has a couple of presets in your mind, and I want to share them with you right now so that you can understand what you're endeavoring to do. First and foremost, there are a couple of levels to this thing. A couple of levels to the thing. The community is kind of the low bar for us. We want to get into a community. We want to make certain that we're supported, by others, etc. But then there's going to be courses. There are going to be ebooks. There's also going to be one-to-one coaching. Those are limited slots. I have to tell you, those are limited slots. It's a deeper commitment. It's more focused, very custom to who you are, even though there's an overall format or platform that we use, which we're going to talk through that piece of it today. But there are a couple levels to this thing, really, right? Today, our focus is about community, but all these things will be made accessible to you for those who really want to endeavor to jump in a little further and go a little bit deeper, right? But when you think about self-development, I want you to really just kind of slow down for a moment. When you're thinking about self-development, what exactly are we talking about, right? Self-development essentially self-development a is spiritual. Self-development is about being on a spiritual path, and it's a spiritual journey. Anytime you're talking about improving yourself, anytime you're talking about doing things in a way that you haven't done them before, anytime you're speaking about trying to figure out how can I be the best version of myself, right? When we start talking about that level of existence, how you want to show up in the world, then essentially you're talking about a spiritual path now. Now you're talking about a spiritual path. Now you're talking about how I do life better. How I do life better. So sometimes we talk about my best self. I want to be my best self. That's spiritual talk, y'all. That's spiritual talk. That's not secular talk. That's not, just kind of trendy stuff right there. If you mean it and you're sincere about it, if you mean it and you are sincere about this thing, then essentially what you're doing is you're saying, I am stepping into I want to get on a spiritual path, a spiritual journey so that I can show up as my best self. Now, what does best self mean? What does best self mean? If you have thoughts and ideas, drop them in the chat. When I say certain things and some things resonate with you, drop those things in the chat. Let's figure that out, right? So this is somewhat of a presentation, but it's also a conversation. So I'm inviting you into a conversation with me today. Okay, I'm inviting you. So we're gonna spend a little time together this morning. Not a ton of time, but enough appropriate amount of time today. But I want to, when you hear best self, right? I want to be my best self. Whatever that comes to mind to you, however that resonates with you, drop a note in the chat so we can kind of see just kind of where you are in this moment. But when we're saying best self, again, we're basically talking about the person that God made me to be. We're saying, I want to be the person that God has made me to be, right? That's big talk. That's big language, right? That's big. That's a big existence, right? That's not small, conversational things. That's momentous. That's a momentous thing. So when we're starting to talk about these things, and when we're starting to figure out, okay, what did God make me to be? What does God want me to be? Right? These are big things. They're big ideas. They're big thoughts. But this is the talk of life. This is the talk of life. This is how we speak life into ourselves. This is how we speak life into each other. We start to talking about showing up the way that God wants me to be. This is what God intended for me. This is what God intended for me. And a lot of the studies have shown. There's a lot of self-development work out there, a lot of self-help things out there. There's statistics and all kinds of books. A lot of this for folks in our community. I'm just going to let you know already that when you're trying to endeavor to be something more than what you have been before, then that means you have to educate yourself. All right. So that means that, and you're going to be a leader. You may say, well, I don't lead a lot of people. No, you're going to lead yourself. So you start with leading your own self, right? But leaders read. Let me slow that down for you, y'all. Leaders read. Right. So I'm going to drop things on you, articles, periodic, even books. We're not going to reinvent the wheel. There's some great, there are a number of different books that I read really on a regular basis. I have a reading list that I have. I have a little app that prompts me some different things. And I'm going to share some tools with you because, when we're walking and doing our walks and when we're sitting there, instead of just, scrolling online, for endless hours, man, take some information in. Take some things into you to help to transform how you think and what you think about this thing we call life. What you think we know about this thing about how we do life and do life well, right? What you think we know about what it is that means to thrive versus just surviving, right? I'm talking about to transform versus just conforming to different things. These are different levels of stuff, y'all. These are different levels of stuff, and I'm committed to it, and I want to build people. I want to, in 2024, I want to spend my time, my effort, my energy around people who want to be the best version of themselves. That's what we want to get done here. That's what we want to get done. So this is not all one way. I'm going to benefit as much. I intend, I'm going to state my intentions. I intend to benefit as much from this community as whatever you think I'm giving, I'm receiving more than what I'm giving, because we don't understand the synergy that is created when people who are committed towards the same goal get together and they join forces together and they really link their success together, right? This is a big thing. That's why community is so big. That's why, the studies have shown that when people are endeavoring to do a thing, I've seen statistics, whether it says 65% more likely up to 95% more likely to achieve their goals. How? If they're doing it in community. If they are doing it in community, if they have, when we mean community, a group of folks that are committed on the same track as I am, though our specific particular goals might be a little different for here, there might be, business for one person, maybe family for another person. But let me let in a little secret. Success, the secrets of success transcend your particular places that you're in. So there's going to be some universal stuff that's going to be true no matter what you're aiming for, right? There's going to be some particular things that I have to do if I'm trying to get better in this particular area or that particular area. Yes, absolutely. No question about that. But success is success, period. Success is success. There are no shortcomings. There are no shortcuts toward this thing. There are no shortcuts towards this thing. So if you think this is about, I'm just going to hit this thing really quickly and get this thing done, this probably is not the space for you. Or you're probably not fully ready to take the level of commitment that it's going to take to get to the next level of it, of being your best self, essentially, right? Ain't no quick fixes here, y'all. No quick fixes here. This is about people who are willing to roll up their sleeves and do the work. I learned something a long time ago. I want to share it with you now. And it said that successful people, now I'm going to slow it down, so I want you all to take this in for a moment, right? It says successful people are the ones who are willing to do the things that the unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. Successful people are the ones who are willing to do the things that unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. What is the key word in all of this? What's the key word you're hearing in all of this? It's about willingness. It's about willingness, right? So are you willing to invest in yourself this year? Are you willing to invest in yourself? That's just a question. And it's more than just a rhetorical question. I mean, you really have to be intentional about what it means to invest in yourself. Investing in yourself means time, effort, energy, and yes, money. Yes, money. It does take resources to do that, right? You tell me something that's worth something that you don't have to spend your time, effort, mental capacity, or your financial resources to make it better. Tell me something that doesn't require these things, and I'll tell you that thing does not exist. It does not exist. So let's not play with ourselves today. Let's not play with ourselves in this moment. Let's not play with ourselves this year. Okay? Be willing to invest in yourself to the degree that you're making that commitment that I will do this thing, and I will do this thing as a part of a system, as a part of a platform, whether it's with us or somebody else. You're going to have to invest. You're going to have to invest. But I'm saying, how about us? I think we can do some things together. I think we can show a track that will make it easier for you, make it accessible. We have tons of content. We have tons of things that we're going to be rolling out systematically over the course of time. But you got to join the community. You got to join the community. And we're going to talk about We absolutely are going to talk about what it means, what the commitment is too. But I want to give you a taste. I want to give you a taste, man. Instead of, I want to let you taste, sample the food. Sample the food before you even see the menu today. Okay. But a couple things that coaching provides. Coaching provides, let me step back. Why is it necessary? Because everybody should have a coach. Everybody should have someone that is helping them to get better. I'm talking about intentionally, not kind of casually on the side. I'm talking about your agreement, your pact, your understanding of why we engage is I'm trying to improve. But let me tell you the secret here. Let me tell you a secret. This stuff is not one way. It's not one way. We're talking about a reciprocity right now. We're talking about reciprocity, right? So I come to you from a spiritual place. I come to you. I'm a Muslim. I come to you as one that bases the foundation of my life upon Islam. So I'm going to share some things with you, whether you're a Muslim or not. Doesn't matter to me. No judgment here. I just want to be very clear and very authentic about where I'm coming from, right? I approach self-development through a faith lens. I think that God has made us all special. God has made us all beautiful. God has made us all in a way that we want to be near him. We want to be close to him, right? Whatever that might look like. But I'm not here to be preachy to you. I really want to state some things, and then I want to get some tools. I'm inviting you into this conversation with us, not only today, but going further. I'm inviting you into this conversation so that we can get on this pathway together. But let me talk about three key benefits to being a part of a community, right? One is about ownership. It's about taking ownership. We take ownership in the community, right? The community protects itself. The community polices itself. The community sets the culture about how we're going to interact with each other, right? So there's not just these, randoms here or there. No, there are people saying, I'm here because I chose to be here. And because I chose to be as a part of a community that's building towards the betterment of myself, then there's certain ways that I'm going to participate. There's certain things that I'm going to hold myself to, and I'm going to hold other members of the community in the same regard. I'm going to do that, right? So there's a level of ownership that happens when you join a community. Contextualization, right? That these are not just random people coming in and out of the community. No, these people, they're self-selected, they're in it, and the context is about us making advancements and improvement. So part of the interplay in the community is not all what comes from the facilitator, right? It's the interplay between the members of the community. Right. So we have what's called, for example, challenges. We do challenges in the community. We always challenging members of the community to step up and do something else, pushing them towards a goal, making them get out their comfort zone and do something that maybe they wouldn't do if they weren't pushed. That's our goal. That's our goal, right? To push a little bit, right? To make it so that we are, as you say, we want to comfort the afflicted. I say this many times, so you're going to hear this over and over. We comfort the afflicted. Life has beat us up. Life has beaten many of us up, and we wear these scars and we wear these things around upon us, and they weigh us down, right? So in some cases, before we push, you got to comfort. We got to comfort. So we're here to comfort the afflicted. Absolutely. You've been hurt, you've been scarred, you've been beat up on a little bit. We want to love on you. We want to love on you. We want to promote. We want to be your biggest advocate, your biggest cheerleader. I'm going to be your hype man. Let me be your hype man. If you lacking confidence, then borrow some of mine till you build yours up. That's what we're going to do, right? So that's part of what we want to get done first. But the other piece of this thing is we want to also afflict the comfortable. So comfort the afflicted, and then afflict the comfortable. So what does the two mean? That when you sat down on the sidelines, when you stopped fighting, you stopped pushing, you stopped setting those bars, your bar was up here, And now you brought your bar back down here because up here just seems like it's a little too much. It's a little too hard. It takes a little too much effort. All those kind of things. So you're kind of sitting down, but picture yourself sitting down on the curb. You ain't running no more. You're not even walking toward your destination. You just basically sat down. For that person, I got to push you. You got to get pushed. You got to get pushed out of your comfort zone. Get yourself back in the game. Get back in the game. Life waits for nobody. It waits for no one, right? And we're going to be accountable to the things that we do and the things that we have been given. So we operate from an idea that everyone, contextually speaking, everyone already has what they need. I want to pause when I say that because some of you all don't believe that. We operate from the premise that everyone already has what they need to be successful in life. You already got it. It's inside of you already. It was put inside of you when God made you. Now, some of us have neglected it. Some of us have forgotten. Some of us have been beaten up so much, looking for validation from outside of us for so much and not receiving it, that we have lost faith in what is actually already in us. Well, part of the work that we want to do from a coaching perspective is we want to agitate that. We want to put some cues. We want to send cues to you that's going to wake up things in you that have been sleeping. They're dormant. Right now, it looks like ain't nothing happening until the right cue starts and cues you up. And now you start seeing movement and you start seeing motion where there was none before. So sometimes we got to have cues. Coaching is about helping us to develop these cues. At first, they come from outside in. But then once we build up that muscle inside of you, you'll start cueing yourself. There'll be thresholds that you'll do. Every time you enter into a certain space, it cues you. Every time you start to endeavor to do something, it cues you. The way you set your day up, these are cues. These things begin to become on autopilot for you so that it's always reinforcing the person you want to be, right? This is what we're talking about. And the last of those things, so it's ownership, it's contextualization, and then it's about building key relationships. Tell me something, historically speaking, as far back as you can think, or as recent as you can think, something that was done that was so transformational, so powerful, so positive, but it was done by only one person. Tell me what that thing is. I'll wait. Tell me what that thing is. I'll tell you what it is. It's nothing. It's nothing. We need people. You need help. You need to be in a community where you have key relationships that are going to help get you through those times when you feel stuck. So we invite people into the community. If this sounds like a space that you want to be a part of, I'm asking you to come on in, join the Find Your Gift community. And help us to build the space that we say we want, right? I want to talk a little bit about our one-on-one coaching. And my goodness, time is running all so fast already. It's called, creating paths to yes, right? This is our one-to-one coaching. And when you come into the coaching, we spend time with each other. And we spend time with each other understanding that there are a number of things that are necessary to address. And so we've broken them down and put them into a format, okay? So creating paths to yes is our coaching pro. What paths is an acronym. It's an acronym, and we're going to break it down, each one of these things today as part of our session today, okay? So again, creating paths. What's in creating? Making something or putting something together that don't necessarily exist right now. It don't exist right now. So we're trying to facilitate a path. Let me tell you something. It's easy, and lazy just to say no. to things. No to things you don't understand. No to things that you haven't endeavored to do. No to things that seem hard. No, I don't want to do. No. That's the easy and lazy way to do things. The thing that takes effort and courage, by the way, the thing that takes effort and courage is learning how to say yes. Learning how to say yes. You've been conditioned to say no to things you don't understand, or no to things that may be outside of how you normally operate. Well, I mean, operating the way we've operated has kind of got the results that we continue to get too, right? So this idea of us creating paths to yes is really giving ourselves permission to say yes. Yes to what? What does yes represent? That outcome, that goal, that aspiration, that thing that we have set up to be, what we're really aiming at in life, that thing that we're trying to really get to. Right. And let me tell you another secret. I got to tell you another secret. There are no destinies here except for with God. In the end, we want our souls to be saved. We want to earn heaven with God. And so that's the ultimate destiny. But anything short of that is all about the journey, y'all. What do I mean by that? That means that once you attain that thing you set, you got your little goal list, right? And as you check off these things and you attain certain things, guess what happens? You wake up, you go to sleep, you wake up the next day, and there's more stuff to do. There's another level to get to out here, right? So what I'm saying to you in this moment, what I'm saying to you is that even when you attain that level, that next level of thing that you're trying, there's going to be something after that. As long as you have life, as long as you have breath, as long as you're still moving around on this thing called Earth, there's going to be something else. So really, what is it? It's about the journey. Creating paths to yes builds that confidence into you. It builds that self-efficacy into you. That even though things are hard, I've done this thing before. So if I did it before, I can do it again. If I did it before, I can do it again. So it's building that motivation in you. It's building that confidence. Some of us we've lost so frequently that it's shaking our confidence. It's shaking our confidence. It's shaking our confidence that you're afraid to try a new relationship. You're afraid to go after that business idea and really go hard at that business idea, right? You're afraid to leave that dead-end job that you've been working on that's not really fulfilling you. It's just really a paycheck. All you're doing is trading your time for money at this point in time. It's not feeding your soul. It's not making me a better person. I'm not really using my gifts to impact the world through it. I'm just getting by. I'm really hiding. I'm really cheating. I'm cheating myself, and I'm cheating other people who really depend on me, who need me to be better. I'm cheating. That's really what's going on when you're playing small. You're playing small ball. Like, nah, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to ruffle no feathers. I don't want to. Hey. Life is this thing that we are doing together. So let's do it well. Let's do it well. So creating paths to yes. So paths is an acronym, as I just mentioned, right? So the P is about purpose. We talked about purpose. We talked about this idea of there's something that I was put here to do. In our tradition, God says that everybody has a uniqueness. He said to each is a goal to which God turns him. So strive as in a race towards all that is good. To each is a goal. He has put a purpose in each and every one of us. You are not without purpose. In fact, he asked the question, does the human person think that they have been left here without purpose? Do they think they've been left here without purpose? This is a rhetorical question. It's one to make you think. The obvious answer is yes, but one to make me think, am I living my purpose? Am I living my purpose? Right? God said he only created jinn and human beings that they may worship him. So he gives us what our purpose is. It's really about worshiping God on a spiritual level. We talk on the highest spiritual level because self-development at its core is about spirituality and spiritual growth and spiritual awareness. That's where it begins. And guess what? I'm going to tell you another secret. When you start thinking about the moment that you start thinking about improving yourself, that's when the improvement starts. It starts in thoughts. It starts in idea. It starts in mental activity. It starts in how I began to perceive myself and my relationship to God and to others. That's when it begins. So the moment that you start to just think about, how can I get better than what I am today? How can I improve myself so that next year I won't be in the same position I'm in this year? Whatever that means for you. Whatever that means for you. Right? So purpose is a very key thing that we spend a lot of time on in our sessions when we do one-on-ones. And some of the group things, etc., we're going to do as well. But really, when God talks about that our purpose is to worship him, I want you to think, I want to stretch the way you even think about worship right now. I want to stretch the way you think, because sometimes we think about prayer, we think about being devotion, we might think about being in a certain place like a mosque or a church or a temple or something like that. Yes, all those things have formal places, etc. We love them. They serve our lives, etc., etc. But there's another level, a heightened level that I wanted to bring to you, is that if I am doing, now I want you to follow me. This is the logic now, so stay with me, right? If I am doing or being what I was created to do and or be, then I am in fact worshiping my Lord. I'm worshiping God. Let me say this in a different way. When you see a bird flying through the sky, the wings outstretched, and they're floating really on the air, right? That we could all agree that they were created, that's their nature. They were created to do that, right? So in essence, in our system, in our belief system, we would say that bird is actually worshiping its creator by doing what it was made to do. So when the fish swims in the water, or when the horse runs very fast across the land, etc., they're simply doing what they were made to do. The question is, what are you made to do? What is your created purpose? And when you are doing that thing, whatever that thing is, then you, in fact, are worshiping. You're in worship right now. That's some of the most spiritual place you can be, is I'm doing what God made me to do. This is what God made me to do, right? So we think about, God says another thing to us. Again, we're on the spiritual, on the highest level. And then in coaching, we get down to the practical, the pragmatic, the strategies, the tactics, the tools that are necessary to make these things reality. But the very first lesson, the very first module that we begin to talk about is purpose. God says to us, he did not make the all that's in the world and the skies and the earth for amusement and play. He didn't make everything for amusement and play. So if you're not tapping into your purpose, you're playing out here. Stop playing. Stop playing with yourself. Stop playing with your families. Stop playing with your communities, because you're cheating them. You're cheating the whole system that has been designed to give you your best self, to make you your best self. The second letter is A. I passed P-A. The A is for actions. There's certain things that have to be done. There's certain things that have to be done. In fact, the scripture says that faith without work is dead. You can't say you believe in something and unwilling to put the work in. Those things don't jive together. They do not, right? God says to us in our text, he says, but those who believe and do good works, they are companions of the heaven, and they will live there eternally. Those who believe and do good works. You believe and do good works. Okay? So it's not enough to say you believe something. This is what I want to get. I believe that I should be a business person. I believe that I should be married. I believe that I should have this, or I should be that, or have this status. I believe that, well, where's your work? What actions are necessary in order to accompany that belief, because the one without the other is dead. It does not exist. The one without the other cancels the other one out. So really we can say, do you really believe? Do we really believe? I don't see anything about your being, anything about your lifestyle, anything about your habits that reinforce that conviction that you have coming out of your mouth right now. I see nothing about what you're doing that says that this is a truth, something that you're really holding on to. So here in this moment, we really focus on action. Not just doing anything, but doing those things that matter, the things that move the chance. So there's a whole lot of things that come with this module. There's a lot of things about actions, things that we should be doing. Muhammad, the prophet in Islam, he said, peace be upon him, he said, the most beloved deeds in the sight of God are those things that are done consistently, even if they are small. The most beloved deeds in the sight of God are those things done consistently. So we're not talking about actions that happen every now and again. In fact, he says that small, consistent action is better than big things that are done every now and again. I'd prefer the small, consistent actions over the big, pomp and circumstance of doing that big old thing every now and again. Give me that consistent, small action, that one that itself just grows my capacity, that reinforces my belief system, that makes me better every single day. But it's to the outside looking in, it's a small action. I get up before the sun every day and I pray. I spend some time every single day and I work out my body. I strengthen myself so my health is good. I do it all the time though. Right? I make sure that I give myself breaks so that, when life is too much for me, I give myself regular breaks to step back. I give myself permission to step back on a regular basis. Small things done consistently are better than big things done every now and again. These are things and themes that we go through. So purpose, action. What's the next one? T. It's about time. Time. It's about how do you manage your time. It's about how do you put things on the clock. Yes. Time has multiple dimensions to it. That's why each of these letters represent areas that we delve into in our coaching platform. But time. So that means that if you have a goal and there's no time frame, you'll hear us say, like, let's put the clock on it. Put the clock on it, right? So the idea, what does that mean? To put the clock on it, you'll hear me say little things like that, right? When I'm saying putting the clock on, I'm saying, well, when we gonna get that done by? When we starting this thing? Put the clock on it. Put the clock on it, right? Because if you have a stated goal, I will do this. I would say, bravo, bravo. When you gonna do that thing? When is that thing gonna be complete? If you can't answer the secondary of the follow-up question with that, I'm gonna have to say, well, let's make sure we committed to doing that thing. Time is important. Time is important, right? And our text, God says that by time, surely the human person will destroy themselves, or they'll be in utter loss, except those who believe and they do that work, right? And they are consistent with through patience. Yes, patience. And truth and patience, meaning they stay within reality. They're very keen on what's real. Not what's make-believe, not something they're making up, not some sort of whim or notion in their mind. No. They're very keen on what's reality. And sometimes, getting back to the community now, sometimes we got to check in with others to make sure that we're perceiving things correctly. Like, hey, man, I've been thinking about this thing, and I got this goal, And here are my steps. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and the person and when you're in community with each other, you afford liberties with each other, right? You give each other permission to say things to each other in community, right? And one of the things that might happen in the community as while you're laying out your plan to get there, if I'm listening to you, I have to say, wait a minute, you're missing a step. You're missing a step. Or are you sure you want to say it that way, right? Community allows me that level of engagement, that level of relationship that I'm able to speak critically. I'm saying critically in the best mode, I'm not just hating. When I say critically, I'm not talking about hate. That means I'm looking at it with a critical eye to see if it's going to have the effect or the outcome that they say they want to have, right? We do that for each other. That happens in community, though. That happens in community. If that happens with a random person who ain't really a part of your community, you blow that off, even if it's the truth. Or if they don't have your best interest at heart as we develop this community together, if they don't have that best interest at heart, then you might open yourself to somebody who just hating on you. So you have a beautiful business idea, a beautiful concept in your mind. They tell me, man, that ain't never going to work. Why? Because their stuff don't work. Be careful. Be careful sharing too much with those who don't share community space with you. And let me tell you how you know. Let me tell you how you know if somebody's in your community or not. You already have communities in many respects. Some have bigger than others. Some are severely lacking. But let me give you the feel. I'm going to tell you how it feels, right? There's certain people that you will share certain things with, and there are other people that you won't share those same things with, because those people, one is in your community and one is not in your community. And it does not matter what the relationship is. They could be family, they could be friends, they could be work, co-workers, or they could be people that you just know at the coffee shop, whatever, right? But the idea here is that when you build community, these are people that have a prevailing understanding with each other. Okay? So we got to understand that all these things are part of this idea. What's the next one? The next one is help. Help. P-A-T-H. Help is the next one. Help comes in a couple different measures. All help ain't the same. Okay? In our tradition, God says, seek help. Listen carefully. Seek help with patience and prayer. And surely this is difficult except for those who humble themselves, right? There is a reality that we all need help. You all need help. Again, I challenge you. You tell me anything that's been done of significance since the human being has been on this earth that was done by one person alone. Anything significant, right? Anything that changed the world. Anything that changed the trajectory of a person's life. No, these things happen when we build communities. So you need help. That's the first thing you do. But I want to temper this by talking about help in two different measures. The first level of help is the help that you can only get from God. And through our process, we want to start to discern that, don't ask people for what you should be asking God for. That is a huge mistake, but it happens far too much. God's resources are endless. My resources are limited. And other people like me, their resources are limited too. So even the way I ask for help from God, I'm asking for comprehensive help. Help me with every area of my life, that which I know and that which I don't know. You know what's before me. I don't know what's before me. You know the pitfalls in the road that are coming ahead. I do not know the pitfalls that are coming ahead. Help me in a very comprehensive way with my entire life. Now, if I ask that from my neighbor next door, that would be inappropriate. That's an inappropriate ask of someone who is limited like me. No, so certain levels of the help that we need can only come from God. They only come from God. In one of the traditions of Muhammad the Prophet, peace be upon him, he said, if you ask, ask of God. If you seek help from God. Right? If you ask of God. If you seek help from God. Why? Because when God is helping you, He's going to send people. He's going to send people. So we understand that when someone conveys or someone enters into our life as an asset to us, and they're helping us to improve ourselves, yes, we thank them, we're grateful to them, but really and truly, we got to be grateful to God. Like, God, thank you for sending this person. Thank you for sending me this information. Thank you to help me, because ultimately, God is the one behind any help and support. But on a practical level, we need to build up what we call a network, a community, so that we can access each other and we can participate in each other's success. So we can participate in each other's success. Listen, nothing will help us get successful and build that level of connectedness together is when we tie our definitions of success together, right? So when you winning, I'm winning. What does that mean? When you winning, I'm happy for you. I mean, I'm talking about genuinely happy. I ain't side-eyeing you, sneak dissing you. I ain't on this. I'm saying, hey, you got that thing. You did that thing. And it motivates me to go do my thing. It reinforces in me that we are the same cloth. We on the same track. We're in the same headspace, right? So we're going to get that thing together. We're going to get that thing together. So this idea that when we ask of God these big matters, don't confuse us seeking that or getting that from each other. These are two different measures. They are two different measures. One of the other traditions, when we're talking about person to person, he said the Muslim is the brother of another Muslim. They neither wrong them, nor do they hand them over to others who will wrong them. All right? So this idea is this idea that we look out for each other's interest. That's the level of connectivity that we can have with each other. Warning people about the potholes and the pitfalls that are coming down based on some actions that they're doing. A friend does that. Somebody who loves you does that. If someone understands that there is trouble down the road and they don't say anything to you, they don't love you. They don't have your best interests at heart. Let's just keep it real. So that's the importance of building community. We build community so we're looking out for each other's interest. We're looking out for each other's interests, and not in just a passive way, but actually in a way that shows a commitment to each other. In another one of these traditions, he said that the believers are like bricks. Each one stacks upon the other, supporting the other, right? These are metaphors, y'all. These are metaphors for the interaction that we're supposed to have. Do I reinforce them? Do I remind them about what is good? Do I support them in times when they're not doing well? Right? Can I be counted on? We all want, we talk about, sometimes I see, a very, very toxic expressions on social media. They got this thing like, trust no one. You hear these slogans, trust no one. Or they used to have, let's see, what was it? No new friends. Stuff like that, right? Now I know perhaps it doesn't mean, the extreme ways that people say them like that, but it don't give a good message, I'll tell you that. Because if you can't trust anybody, that's a lonely place to be. And if I can't trust anybody, that's probably a good sign that I can't be trusted either. Yeah. Because we have to be that thing that we want. You got to be that thing that you want. So can I be trusted? Can I be trusted? Because if we're putting those vibes out in the universe, then God obligates himself to send us back other people and put things in our pathway that we can't trust. He don't leave us alone when we know we need others. So part of that help that we get from God is about him putting the right people in our pathway, right? Don't let your scars from the past ruin the potential for good relationships in the future. It happens too often. We hear it all the time. Whether it's with relationships or friendships or business partners or whatever the venue might be, because we had a bad experience, we give up on these things, and we do that to the detriment of our own selves. Okay. And the last thing is about a system. So we're talking about paths, plural, paths, right? It's all about a system. God says he is the one who gives life and causes death. And to him belongs the alternation of the night and the day. So will you not understand or think about these things? So here God is telling us, and again, he's pointing us to something outside of us, something we can't control, but he's talking about how there's a system to things that he puts in his order. The night and the day, the life and the death. We can say the various seasons that happen in life, right? All these things are part of a system. What is my system to get the best out of me? Right? Spiritually, yes, but even practically, how do I arrange my day? How do I go about the big important things in my life? How do we look to do these kind of things? All these things happen by way of a system. Muhammad the Prophet, peace be upon him, he said, Allah loves when any of you does their work and they do it with excellence. He loves when he sees you doing your work and doing it in an excellent way. What does excellent mean here? It translates to mean that it is excellent, meaning it's good, but it's also efficient. It also has order. It has order. When we see the sun and the moon following it's in the sky, that should send a sign to us that things are happening in order. The moon don't come out when the sun don't take the place of the sun, and the sun don't come up at midnight. Not on a regular basis, right? But the idea is that things follow an order. Life needs order, hence discipline. To do things consistently over time so that we can get the most out of it. So we talk about what are the systems that we have in our life. What are these systems that we have in our life? So creating paths to yes, this is all the high touch platform under each of those areas, the P, the A, the T, the H, the S. Each of them are modules to themselves. They all have lessons in them. And depending on your particular area, we may go deeper on one or more of these things just so we can get the most out of it. Let me also tell you, these are not just linear. There's no linear path to self-development, meaning you're going to do this, and then you're going to do that, and you're going to do that, and then you win the prize. No, that's not how it happens. These things are much more fluid. So sometime we'll be talking about purpose, but then we're going to talk about time. And then we're going to talk about the system. And then we're going to come back and talk about certain actions and so on. These things are all unfolded together. We parse them out like we just did, so for better comprehension. That's why we do that. But the reality is that these things are happening all the time. These things are happening. They're very fluid. It's not a linear path. It's not a linear path. It's a layered path. It's a layered path. And sometimes you go forward one day, then you got to come back and pick up something, and then you're going to go forward. But that's what the benefit of having a coach and having a community, it does for us. Okay. So let's talk about our platform. A couple of different offerings that we have. The first thing that we're doing for a limited time is we're inviting people to come in to the Find Your Gift community. And what does that mean? What does that mean? It's a monthly commitment. It's a monthly commitment. $29 a month. It's $1 a day. $29 a month. Get monthly coaching sessions like we're doing right now, but there also is a number of challenges that come in with that. We're always putting information in. We're sending you resources, and we're also doing, meetups within our platform that's really only for the community themselves, right? So because again, we want people who opt into these things. We're doing this on Facebook Live and IG Live right now just to get the word out for what we're trying to get done. But a lot of these sessions going forward are going to be for the community themselves. So you have to opt in. You have to opt in, right? So the idea is that's the first low bar. That's the low bar level of engagement when it comes to the coaching platform here that we're doing, right? And the second thing that we have, and some of you may have gotten this or gotten part of this too, is called the 5 Tests of God. This is a course. This is a course. It's about 10 sessions that are going to be involved with this course. It also has a workbook. There are other things that we into this as well, where we spend time dealing with how do you deal with losses and overcome losses and finding strength, right? Sometimes we might lose something. We might, again, a relationship. It might be money. I mean, lost a business. We lost different things. I lost my father and my sister in the last 4 or 5 years. And it's been a tremendous weight upon me and my family. But how do we get through these things? How do we overcome these losses? How do we do that, right? So we're talking about ebook, workbook, 10 sessions, 10 separate sessions in this, also with some bonus material as well. That's $179. Or $197, pardon me, $197. And if you purchase the course, then you also get admitted into the community as well. So again, we're trying to offer value to you as well. Right. So this idea of us, we're talking about commitment now. We're talking about investing in yourself. We're talking about how do you step up to the things that you say that you want. You got to be willing to commit. You got to be willing to come into a community. You got to be willing to be coached. You got to be willing to say, I am in this for the long haul. I'm committed to this. How do we do this? By our time and also by our resources. That's what we do. That's what translates into commitment to us in life. I give my time to it. I give my resources to it. So for $197, you get the full course with the ebook, with the workbook, and you also get access to the Find Your Gift community as well, right? There's a third level. There's a third level. And the third level is based on creating paths to yes. That's what we spent the bulk of our time on today, right? Where we take each other. This is one-to-one coaching now. This is one-to-one coaching. This comes, there are 5 sessions that happen in this. And with a lot of material, a lot of content in there. We spend time going through, what you say you want, what's important to you in your life, what's happening for you in your life right now as well. And we do this in a way so you get the one-to-one coaching, which is 5 sessions, one-to-one, right? You get the course that we just talked about, the 5 Tests of God, right? You get access to the ebook, the workbook, all of the other things that we have, and access to the Find Your Gift community. All of this is $997 to get that, right? So you get the one-to-one coaching, all of the community coaching and the access to it, all the ebooks, all the workbooks, everything that we have, and things that are also in queue. We have several other things that are coming down the pipe, but you get that for $997. But if you join within the next 24 hours, meaning you go to my website, imammakram.com, and you message me in the contact page to say, I want to join, or I want to be coached in the creating paths to yes. If you do that, then I'll give you all of what we said for $497. We're just gonna cut it right in half. $497. You get everything that we just talked about, and you'll be a part of this community. You will get the access. You will get much more than what you could possibly imagine based on the work that we're going to put in, the content that we are creating right now. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be phenomenal. And again, I look to create things that are very niche marketed, right? Coaching, you have to know. There's no magic bullet in coaching. I'm just pulling back the covers. I don't want to mislead you. I don't want to play around with you. And I really only want people who are very, very serious about what we're trying to get done, right? I'm saying to you that coaching is about doing the work. But you have a committed partner and community on this side to work with you. But coaching is about doing the work. Don't think that once you pay for something, it's automatically going to mean that everything's going to get better. No, that's the starting point to what we say we're going to get done, right? That's the starting point. So what we're looking at here is trying to convince you that you're enough, that you're worth it. You're worth it. You're worth it. You're enough. You're enough. You know, whether we spend $29 or $197 or $497 with this package we're giving today, whatever, you've spent more on less. You've spent more on less. And what it also does to us and our team on this end is to discern who actually is committed. Who actually is committed. We spend time, we research, we prepare books, we prepare things for you. We spend a lot of time, effort, and energy because we want to. This is part of our own purpose, right? But we do this, but we want to put it in the hands of people who also are committed to making it happen. To making it happen, to saying yes, to reaching your yes, to getting to your yes, to getting to your yes. So if you're ready to get to your yes, if any of this has resonated with you, go to imammakram.com. That's IMAMMAKRAM.com. You go there now, send me a note in the in our contact page. Say you want to be in the creating paths to yes, and you will get the full package, $497 for the one-to-one coaching, which is 5 exclusive sessions with us, right? The ebook, the workbook, and all the 10 sessions that go with the coursework, and the Find Your Gift community, which is a monthly coaching session, as well as the other bonus meetups, challenges, etc. Right? There will be no way, shape, or form that you will be out content. You'll be getting reminders. You get emails. You're always going to get the blog. You're always going to get the podcast. You're going to get the other things that's going to come with these things as well. But we are looking for those folks to really want to opt into what we're trying to get done. Right? So say you just want to test the water, no problem. Come on in at the $29 and just be a part of the community. If you found any of this to be beneficial to you, let us know. Write us, send us a message. Go to the website, send us if you have a follow-up question. By all means, myself and my team, we're ready to respond to you. But let me just say this before we conclude. It's insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing the same way, but expecting a different result. Doing the same thing the same way, but expecting a different result. If it ain't working, then let's change it together. If it ain't working, if what you have been doing is not getting you to your yes, then let's work together to make that happen, God willing. Let's work together to make it happen. So I wanted just to share that with you. We're super, super excited that you all joined us. For all who have joined us, many folks that are in the community already, thank you all for joining us. We hope that this was very, very beneficial for those who might just be hearing this for the first time. Come on in. Come on in and be a part of this. Go to the website, put your email in, get the blogs, get all the other information that we're sending out. But make a commitment right now. In the next 24 hours, we get a message from you through our contact and our page to say you want to be a part of the Creating Paths to Yes. Then again, we're going to take that, give it to you for $497, give you the community, the ebook, the coursework, the one-to-one coaching, all these things, right? And I think as a bonus, I think we're still doing not ended already. That ended. Okay. For those who joined the community already, the Find Your Gift community, it also came with a preliminary coaching session one-to-one with myself, but we may do that again, but that actually ended today at the start of this session today. But man, I hope and pray to God that this has been beneficial to you. I hope that you can understand what we're going to do for you and what we're offering here, what the value proposition is. I hope you take advantage of this and come and join our community. I mean, we're here, we're committed to doing this, and we're going to get this thing done. We're going to get this thing done. The only question is, are you going to be with us? The only question is, are you going to come in and join us to make this happen, to make 2024 a year that is memorable, a year that you stretch out, you do some things that, you turn the corner on those things. It might be buying that house for the first time, right? It might be, again, it might be, getting as healthy as you want to be in this year. I have health goals myself for this year as well, right? Sometimes you just might need a nudge, right? You got to give permission. You have to give permission to other people to help hold you accountable. We need accountability partners. We need accountability partners. Accountability partner is the one who you all make an agreement that we're going to walk 3 days a week. We're going to walk 3 miles 3 days a week at this particular time. And if you don't show up, your phone is ringing. You got a text. You got a note like, hey, I'm here. Where you at? Accountability partner. It's accountability partner, right? So the idea is that we need these things in order to be successful. The human psyche is just wired in this way. It's wired in this way, right? Let us be your accountability partner. Come join a community so you can also be an accountability partner for someone else, right? You can be their cheerleader, but you can also say, hey, this is what we say we about. This is what we say we about, right? This is when we're really winning, y'all. This is when we're winning. So again, find your gift community, $29.99. This is a limited time offer, by the way. This is going to go away. It's going to go up very soon. But we're at $29.99. Is that correct? No, it's just 29 bucks. Sorry, I'm going. I've been going. I'm sufficiently caffeinated right now, so I'm zooming right now. But 29 bucks a month to join the community. 197 flat cost. You get the course with the 10 sessions in the course, the ebook and the workbook, or creating paths to yes, the one-to-one coaching. If it's $9.97 normally, if you do it in the next 24 hours by sending us a note via the website, you get that for $4.97. We're cutting it in half. It's all about, we have content, is great, it's queued up, it's ready to go. I'm just ready to give it to you. I want to get people in the community. And if you do it at that level, the creating paths to yes, then you get the course, you get the ebook, you get all that stuff, and you're in the community as well. So you get all three levels for one level of commitment, but that happens in the next 24 hours. So listen, we pray to God Almighty that this has been success, this helpful to you. We pray that you have much success in 2024. If we can be a part of that success or help you in any way, please let us know how we can make that happen. We're definitely excited about what the year is to come. And we want to see you win, essentially, and no mincing no words about that. We want to see you win, and we want to create a community of people that win. Right? So let's do this together. We ask God to forgive us of any of our shortcomings or our mistakes, and we ask that he bless us with the outcomes that we desire, and he gives us success in this life and the next. Amen. Thank you. God's peace be with you, and I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.